Ukrainian forces are continuing to make small advances on the southern sector of the front, according to the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, whose latest maps detail some of Kyiv's war progress. Ukraine's counteroffensive aimed at recapturing Russian-occupied territory started around June 4, and Kyiv has said it has liberated more than a dozen villages in the Zaporizhzhia and Donetsk oblasts. Ukraine launched its full-scale counteroffensive earlier this summer, but saw limited advances on the front line. Tanks, traps, trenches, and tens of thousands of mines have hampered Ukraine's forward progress in the region, but a breakthrough appears underway. After weeks of mine clearing and heavy fighting, it has been reported that Kyiv has broken through Russia's main line of defense. The think tank reported on Sunday that geolocated footage had shown how Kyiv's forces had advanced east of Novoprokopivka, a village about 4 miles south of Robotyne in the Zaporizhzhia region. Ukrainian Tavrius Group of Forces spokesperson Oleksandr Shchupin has said that Ukrainian forces continue to advance near Robotyne, which Ukraine recaptured last month and had liberated 0.6 square miles of territory in this direction. Russian troops appear to be fleeing en masse from their positions as artillery shells rain down on them in a new video released on one of the Ukrainian military channels and shared on social media. The 2-minute clip indicates the events took place in Klishchivka, a settlement to the southwest of Bakhmut in the Donetsk region, which Ukraine claims to be regaining full control over. Both sides are reported to be suffering huge losses amid intense artillery fire. The Ukrainian General Staff and Ukrainian Eastern Group of Forces spokesperson Ilya Yevlash, quoted by ISW, said Kyiv had also achieved unspecified success near Klishchivka, 6 miles south of Bakhmut in Donetsk Oblast. A map by the ISW showing the state of play around Robotyne illustrates how Ukrainian forces had advanced south of the town and advances west of Verbov, a town tipped to be next in Kyiv's sights. Moscow's forces have lost a total of 268,630 fighters since the outbreak of full-scale war, Kyiv's military said in a post to social media on Sunday. The Kremlin has also lost 4,554 tanks and 5,811 artillery systems in the more than 18 months of fierce warfare, the military's general staff said. Russia has lost 490 soldiers, 10 tanks and 22 artillery systems in the past 24 hours, Kyiv said on Sunday, as Ukraine prepares to take its counteroffensive into tougher weather conditions. Ukraine's forces have around a month left to push back Russian troops from captured territory before the weather halts Kyiv's progress, according to the U.S. military's top soldier. General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told the BBC on Sunday that Ukraine's forces have between 30 to 45 days left of fighting before the fall weather conditions stop their advance. Kyiv has been launching operations all along its front lines, stretching down from eastern Ukraine to the southern Russian-annexed regions of Zaporizhzhia and Kherson. In recent weeks, attention is focused on progress in the south as Ukraine's efforts yielded some success in the direction of the Russian-occupied city of Melitopol and ultimately the Sea of Azov. During fierce fighting in this area, more than 845 Ukrainian servicemen, 27 tanks and armored fighting vehicles, including the British-made Challenger tank and 25 vehicles, were destroyed, Russia said in a statement. Up to 500 Ukrainian soldiers with the country's 82nd Air Assault Brigade were killed or wounded in the past week, Moscow claimed. Reports have suggested in recent weeks that the Challenger 2 main battle tanks were in play with Ukraine's 82nd Air Assault Brigade in Robotyne. A 2-minute 20-second supercut of drone footage showing multiple strikes, allegedly with cluster munitions, on Russian soldiers as they run up a village road was published on the Ukraine military-linked Operativno ZSU Telegram channel on Thursday. Ruskies flee from Klishchivka under the fire of cluster munitions, the caption for the video states. While the original post does not provide additional details, OSINT accounts offered further insight and context into the video. New footage appears to show Ukrainian Shark drones in action as Kyiv attacked several Russian air defense systems with HIMARS in the fiercely contested Zaporizhzhia region, where Ukraine is concentrating much of its counteroffensive efforts. Media reports have suggested Ukraine has frequently used Shark drones for aerial reconnaissance in Zaporizhzhia, where Kyiv has said its forces are now past Russia's first line of meticulously prepared defenses. Reconnaissance drones such as the Shark help Ukraine's forces identify where to target artillery and missile strikes. In mid-June, Kyiv's military intelligence agency said the Sharks, kitted out with full high-definition cameras, were particularly useful for HIMARS targeting. Ukraine's Marines have previously shared footage of Kyiv's forces using Shark drones to track down Russia's Buk M2 anti-aircraft missile systems. After identifying the target, the enemy's expensive equipment was destroyed by fellow gunners. In early August, Russia's Ministry of Defense said its forces had made successful advances in northeast Ukraine. The Kyiv Post noted Kupiansk is a rail hub, and Russia had used it as a logistics and supply site after seizing control of the city during the early stages of the war launched on February 24, 2022. However, Kyiv recaptured control of Kupiansk in September in one of its first major counteroffensives. Fighting in the Svatov area has been fierce for a number of weeks as Russian forces make a push towards the town of Kupiansk. Analysts have speculated that Putin's military may be using fighting in northeast Ukraine as a tactic to draw resources away from Kyiv's counteroffensive operations in the southern parts of the country, as well as an attempt to recapture the city of Kupiansk.